Welcome back to part 5 of my video series on how I take an image from start to finish in Snapseed in my phone. Now this is the 5th and final step. We've done a lot of work to this image. We're going to review it all at the end, but this is the final step. And the final step is always going to be sharpening. Sharpening is the last thing you want to do. So here's where we're at with our image right now, and we want to get to the sharpening phase. So let's go to Tools, and let's go to Details, which is another way of saying sharpening. So there's two ways to sharpen. One is with structure, and one is with actual sharpening. If you go up and down, scroll up and down, you can see sharpening, structure, sharpening, structure. So what's the difference between the two? Well, sharpening basically just sharpens every single pixel, all the way. It sharpens everything. Whereas structure tends to look for lines and details and make those things stand out more. So let me show you what the difference looks like. Right now we're on structure, and let's go to the right and watch what happens. You see how all the lines in the picture now are very, very hard and coming out very, very hard? And if you go far to the left, look what it does. It smooths everything out. So let's go right back to the middle. Now, let's go up to sharpening. And sharpening just sharpens everything in the image. I like to go sharpening right about plus 50. Now, there's a good chance that the image comes right out of the camera plenty sharp enough. And if you're going to put it on Instagram, it's going to be so small on people's phones and it's going to look sharp anyway. So you may not even need to do any sharpening, but about plus 50 is about right. Now let's go back to structure, and let's just add a little bit of structure. Just a little bit. Let's add too much. That's too much. And then let's back it up to normal, and then right there. Just enough to give him a little more punch. Just a little more punch, right? Okay, so we're done. But we're not done, because there is one last little thing that I always like to look at before I send it to Instagram, because, well, it's a all-in-one button and it kind of does a good job. And if you hit Tools and you go to Portrait. So Portrait is a cool little tool, because what it does is it puts a spotlight on the face of your subject, it smooths the skin, and it makes the eyes more clear. Now, in his case, I don't want to smooth skin at all. So let's take skin smoothing down to 0. And now let's take face spotlight down to 0. And let's take eye clarity down to 0. Now here's my image. So let's go back to face spotlight. See here? Now we're starting to get, yeah, right about there. See, look at that. Before, after. All right, before, after. Now we're getting something dynamic. Now let's go up to eye clarity, and we're going to pinch zoom so we can get in close. And let's see what happens to his eyes here. Oh, yeah, that's nice. So let's bring his eyes up. Not too much. We don't want him to look like a vampire, but just enough that we can see his eyes a little bit more. And let's take it back down. Now we're cooking. Let's look at before and after. The little book icon up here on the right corner will give us, there's before and there's after. Before, after. See, now we're starting to look at something, right? That's interesting. There we go. So we hit the check mark. And I think we're done. I think this is our final image. So let's go right up here to this button right here, Edit Stack. And we're going to hit View Edits. And let's go back to the original. This is what I started with. This is the image at the beginning of the series. You can go back and watch from the very first video. There's 5 in all. This is the image that I started with. Then I cropped it. Then I tuned it. Then I used selective to work on the edges. Then I used brush to work on the edges and bring down the background some more. Then I used details to sharpen it to where I want it and give it a little more punch. And finally, I used the portrait mode to lighten his face up, lighten his eyes up, and really make him pop off the page. And that's it. That's our final image. That's ready to go to Instagram. All right, thanks for watching. If you like, be sure and leave comments below. If you want to see me do more videos like this, let me know what you want me to do, and I will certainly try to do them. Thanks for watching.